My name is Christy Busby, and you are about to listen to the next episode of my podcast called F.A.T.E, From Atheism to Enlightenment. So come on in, join me. We're going to talk about it all, from atheism to enlightenment. Alrighty, guys, here we go. Get ready, and welcome to your F.A.T.E. Welcome, everyone, to the next episode of F.A.T.E. How's everybody doing today? On today's show, it's going to be me giving you an update as to where I'm at in the world of my spiritual growth, my thoughts on the podcast, the future of this podcast. I did have a guest planned for today. However, last minute, they were unable to record. So I decided to take this opportunity to just talk about me a little bit today and where I'm at with my health, where I'm at with my spiritual development, and just kind of give the audience a little bit of an update as to what my thoughts are after doing, I believe, 15 episodes of this podcast thus far. I started in February, and here we are in the end of June, coming up on July here. And it has been a fascinating journey. I must say that I have loved the process. I have been profoundly lucky with the guests that I was able to get on this show, almost as if the universe was helping me out. Don't even ask me how I was able to do 15 episodes with mainly like amazing people that were coming on and telling stories that have gifts, that have all kinds of information that is super fascinating for, I hope, everybody who decided to listen to the show this whole time. I mean, I can't tell you how lucky I've been between Dave Schrader, Scotty the Medium, Kimberly, Yuri, Alicia, my sister, Brandy, who will be back on the show at some point. I have been incredibly lucky that I have been able to do 15 episodes with people that I thought were interesting and intelligent, and we've had some really mind-bending discussions. I mean, Dr. Holly Duckworth last week was just still one of my favorite episodes. Going to see her in October. Yes, I am. But I think at this point, I'm going to take a couple of weeks off. I mean, to be perfectly honest, it's been a marathon. I work a full-time job as an assistant director during the week on a television show, and it is, 60, 70 hours a week. I write, record, and edit and release on the weekend, and it has been stressful. And as much as I've loved it, and I have loved it, and I want to continue to do this, I really think that maybe the next couple of weeks, I need to take a break, not only for the ability to really service the show the way that it should be serviced. Like, I really don't have the amount of time to dedicate towards marketing it, get more viewership, and I'm just not able to invest the amount of time, energy, money into marketing it and putting it out in a way that would be most impactful and reach the most people. I feel like I need to take a couple of weeks off, get some guests under my belt, do some more promotional stuff, and quite frankly, take a little time for myself. And I think that stepping away for a couple of weeks is the right thing for me to do at this time, so I can work on the podcast, work on myself, my health. My show is wrapped in the next couple of weeks. So I definitely need a little bit of time off to kind of reevaluate, take a breath, sit with myself, think about what my next steps are with this show and how I'm going to reach the as many people as possible. I hope for those of you that have followed along from the beginning that you have opened your mind, that you have come to understand that maybe we are much more than we think we are, and that we are programmed to feel, think, and believe otherwise. I know for me, in the last year or so, really opening myself up to spirituality, to thinking outside mainstream, it all started with realizing from a health perspective that mainstream Western medicine was not the only way to heal. It was not the only way to repair your body. And once you start finding whole in something like health within our system, you start understanding there's a lot more whole in what we're told in many, many, many other ways. And I think that more and more people are starting to understand that we're not quite given our entire history. We're not quite told about all of our capacities and all of our capabilities. And I think that we are filled with fear. We're pumped full of anger and distractions that don't allow us to really seek our full potential and do the work that you need to do in order to open ourselves up to another realm of communicating, of being, and of understanding what capacities we really truly are capable of. So I'm going to continue to do this podcast. I want to continue to bring you stories that will crack that brain open of yours and maybe allow you to think from a perspective that you would not normally think from. And I know for me, having a belief system that I did for as long as I did, the transition from that into who I am now has been life-changing. I can never go back to being who I was. I have to move forward with my new lens on my eyeballs that I talk about, that I say. I am evolving. I'm not where I want to be with my health. I'm not where I want to be with my spiritual transition. And I'm certainly in the category of being a novice, a beginner. And I'm definitely not here to tell anybody else that their belief system is wrong or that it needs to change. But I am here to poke you a little bit to say, what do you think about this? And what about that? And just allow you to have some other ideas that might challenge what your belief systems are. And I'm going to allow everybody to make up their own minds. Everybody has their own path here, and not everyone is going to awaken. Not everyone is meant to awaken. Some people's sole purpose do not align with that, not in this lifetime, not this go around. And that is your path. And your path is your business, not mine. My path is my business, my focus. And I want to continue to move down this direction and continuously open myself up into listening to other people tell their stories, listen to other ways of walking in the world. They fascinate me. They don't scare me. Maybe because I've never had a core belief system that like I never did have a religious belief. I was a I was a science-based girl. I believed in science. I have a degree in animal behavior and neurobiology. I believed very much in the scientific theory and evolution. And through trauma, through years of seeking health and not finding any answers and not understanding why this was happening to me, it did allow me to open up in a way that I have never opened up before, and it has changed me fundamentally. And I'm embracing it. I think my life makes a lot more sense to me now than it ever did before. I think the planet, the earth, humans, our reality makes a lot more sense to me now than it ever did before. I'm hoping that you continue the journey with me. I have some great, amazing guests coming up. I have this gentleman named David who talks about death and the transition of death. I think that's a very important conversation that we should be having more often, is death and what that really is. And I believe wholeheartedly that if people had less fear around death, that it could dramatically change people's lives. There's so many people out there that are, including myself, for many years, I was afraid to die. Many years, most of my life. And I feel differently now. I have so much less fear surrounding things like death. I feel like I have more control over my reality by how I am walking in the world. What I'm thinking, what I'm believing, what I'm saying, and how I'm feeling is going to show up in my reality. It just does. And I know I'm not alone. I know I have spirit guides. I know I have help in the universe. I know that I am being supported. And I know that the universe is going to serve you up whatever you are thinking, feeling, saying. I can promise you that. On that, I'm going to keep this short, guys. And I am going to see you in the next few weeks, and I will be back bigger, better than ever. And we'll see what the next season brings. But I really appreciate everyone who has been with me from the beginning and who has continued to listen and journey with me. And I hope I will see you again for season 2 of the F.A.T.E podcast. Until then, guys, journey well, everyone. Welcome to your fate. I'll see you later. Alrighty, guys, I think we can officially call this a wrap on season 1 of the F.A.T.E podcast. I really want to thank you if you've been watching from the beginning. Please stand by. Please stay tuned. I will be back. I will be bringing you more guests that will make you think outside of the box, open your mind, and really question everything you have ever learned. Until then, Maggie and me, let's see you soon. Welcome to your fate, everyone. We'll see you in season 2. Bye.